Hello, everyone. Welcome to our all new edition of The Take. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us here on this Thursday, September 26, 2019, here on The Take. First things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. Hey, we're here. We're back for another edition of The Take this week. And what a fully loaded stories we have for you this week. Let's get to the big story. All right, the big story this week is former New England Patriots wide receiver Antonio Brown has been in a whole bunch of controversy this week. He had his worst week ever after two women accused Antonio Brown of sexual misconduct, and now the NFL trying to get off, putting the pressure off them. They're thinking they want to release him, and then New England Patriots released him after being on the team for a week after Brown was being released from the Oakland Raiders, and he thought he was out of his chances of survival. Well, let's take you from this whole scenario, Antonio Brown, with him being cut by the Patriots. Watch this.
There's one thing that really stands out to me, and is, I've been saying for the last couple of months about just shutting up and playing football. And now, you're here at home tweeting on Sunday. That's our day to go out there and do what we love to do. And you've been to Pittsburgh, you've been to Oakland, you've been to the defending Super Bowl champions, New England Patriots. Now, out of all those three places you've been up to today, where is the accountability for his actions and everything?
He's calling everybody else out, nothing on himself.
Yes. And so I think from a player looking at another player, of Antonio Brown's caliber, it's very frustrating to see everything that's going on now. It's like we're sitting here like glad that he's not on the football field. I'm speaking from a teammate. I would not want to come in on Sunday or come in during the week and we cannot focus on the game of football. And now that he doesn't have football, the people around him close better just pay attention to him and just keep him close.
Bill, why did you decide to cut Antonio Brown on Friday?
Yeah, we'll just focus on today's game.
That's the coach's decision, So I just live by their decision.
How do you guys manage to ignore it and just go on and play?
Different things happen over the year. You just next man gotta be able to step up and make plays. That's the only thing we can control.
It is what it is. I can't really speak on it. I really don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to speak on it. Situation.
Right there, a lot of sports pundits are saying that Antonio Brown is done for after those allegations by those two women. Well, one woman said Antonio Brown forcibly raped her. The other one saying Antonio Brown did some passes on her and doing a painting. And she said that she saw him having sex during this time, trying to make passes at her, make advances, maybe trying to do a menage a trois. Well, an unlikely source came on social media and gave Antonio Brown some advice that you won't believe. Watch this.
Hello, Twitter world. Well, it's complete. I lost Andrew Luck in 20 minutes after drafting him. Breeze is hurt, so that's going to hurt two of my receivers, Michael Thomas and Cook. And now today, finally, New England releases Antonio Brown. I guess you could say you saw it coming. I almost texted Antonio a week ago. I want to give him a little bit of advice that some of the greatest legal minds in America gave me. They told me that when you're in a civil or criminal litigation and you're the person they're coming after, the best thing you can do is say nothing, be quiet, essentially shut up. And if his lawyer didn't give him that advice, he should sue that lawyer. Evidently, he didn't. In any event, I don't have to worry about that anymore. He's gone. I wish I would have sent him that text a week ago. I'm just saying, take care.
You saw right there. O.J. Simpson giving Antonio Brown advice about the spotlight. Well, Antonio Brown, O.J. saying that he texted Antonio Brown to, let him know on a piece of advice. Well, most of the time, that's what O.J. Simpson did. I guess being a free man, you can do whatever you want. And you being accused of doing something really malicious to cut certain people down your lane. Wow. We'll see how this whole Antonio Brown saga collapses itself. Man, it's getting interesting indeed. All right, moving over from there is let's go to talk shows. Well, talk shows this week. Man, what a hot topic. Everyone knows that singer Fantasia Barrino has come in fire after making remarks about, the institution of marriage goes and where a woman should be submissive to a man and vice versa, like tradition versus new school, where it's like old school versus new school, tradition versus progressive. So Fantasia putting that out there along with her husband with this saying.
Here's the issue. Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers. What's happened is men have abused that power. Forgive me, they've abused that gift. And we have been misled to think that it's something where it's a dominant spirit and we own every decision, we dictate everything, we rule with an iron fist. First of all, that's not love. What happens is in my marriage, let me not speak for everybody, my marriage, I submit daily to the Most High. I stay in my scriptures. I continue to feed myself with things that help me build my character, to reshape my perspective that was messed up in the streets and dealing with different propaganda and programming and things like that, so that I can come to my wife from a pure position. So when I do that and she sees me and she witnesses over time that it's an authentic demonstration, her heart is moved and softened and compelled to submit to me. Yeah. What does that look like? That doesn't mean that I dictate every decision. I don't walk around the house saying what we're going to spend, how we're going to do it. We talk and we build. And I consider everything that's on her heart, her perspective, her position, her philosophy. I'll carefully weave that into my philosophy to figure out what's the best move for this family, keeping all of that in mind. Now, the moment I start to step outside of righteousness and I start to move from a place of emotion instead of analytics, she has every right to snatch that back, because submission is a gift. When she sees me laying at the foot of the Father, she has no reason to withhold that from me. The problem is this: men are not found in positions of leadership handling it with integrity. How you gonna lead your wife if you can't balance a checkbook? If you don't know what's going on in the stock market? You don't have a sound understanding of the finances. You can't create a budget. You don't understand what's going on in the educational system in your community that's impacting your kids. In order to lead, you got to be so far ahead of your family that by the time they come to you with a situation or a problem, you've already dived into it, done your due diligence so that you can give leadership. You don't lead from your genitals. You lead from a gentle place of understanding. And the more she trusts, the more she can let go of things that she don't have to deal with and focus on the things that edify her. It ain't about money. We both hustlers. It's not about a dollar for dollar thing, because we're one unit. Yeah. If I fall, she falls. If she falls, I fall. Submission is solely about trust.
I think when women hear the word submission, we're like, what? Yeah. Submitting. With my husband, like he said, to piggyback off what he just said, it was what he demonstrated. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't come in and say, all right, like he said, the budget is this for that, this is and the third. I watched how he did things. I watched how he budgeted. I watched him. And then I slowly became him, and I submitted in that. Yeah, now I think I'm more frugal than him, and that's not even being like gotta be frugal because we don't have it. It's just being smart. And the word, if you dig deep in the word with your partner, you'll start to see a lot of things that we're talking about. But yeah, I like that he broke that down, because I'm a very strong woman. I like what I like. Nice. I'm very strong. But when it comes to allowing him to cover and lead this home, I sit back and allow him to do that, and it makes me better. Wow, that like
lead by example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want your wife to be humble, walk in humility. If you want your wife to forgive, you be quick to forgive. If you want your wife to consider, following you down a specific path, prove to her that you got the blueprint. and that she's not following you to some unknown destination. My wife don't have to follow anything that she don't see me demonstrating.
Yeah.
So master the thing before you go out and try to teach it. It's like sometimes you see cats, as soon as they get a book and they read something, they start running, trying to teach people on it, but you haven't applied it and gone through the proving grounds of being able to master that information yourself. So leadership is a forward-thinking thing. And when you do that, women's natural instinct is going to be to trust, to be able to submit their hearts. But again, this ain't a dominant thing.
Nah.
And I want my wife cold as me, because if something ever happens to me, she don't like having
He
that
always
conversation.
say that.
If something ever happens to me, she need to know how to get that bag. She need to understand where the money's at. She need to know how to ask the right questions. I ain't telling you to ask nobody nothing. You tell them what belongs to you. She can't do that if I'm controlling everything. So my wife needs to be a direct female reflection of the man that I am. Facts.
Come on now.
You come on.
You know, I always said the wise woman once told me, the older women used to tell me, stop, boy.
What up?
Is the woman is the neck and the man is the head. And without the neck, the head can't move.
Two heads is just a head, but see how that works. See how that works.
So yeah. And I'm gonna end it with this. We ain't perfect, and we ain't trying to be perfect. We still growing. And we just want to share that with all those out there that's still growing and want.
And get clarity. Don't be trying to twist my wife's words up at the end of the day, because I'm proud of her for standing.
They try to do that?
Man, whatever to them. At the end of the day, we want to make sure there's clarity to what she said and the understanding, and be able to hear the force behind what she is saying, so it don't get tangled and twisted. It ain't for everybody. Do your thing. But for women out there who truly desire that, and men who want to step up to the call, we just want to take time out, make sure we bring clarity to our demonstration, and hope that it's fruit for you in your life. And watch how God bless. Straight like that.
Mine.
Salute.
All right, Fantasia and her husband saying that, hey, this is what we do in our household, and to each his own. My firm belief is, if that works in your household, in your bedroom, that's your business. To each his own. But, you know, everyone had to be, you know, everyone had to know their role, know their place. Well, this is where we bring talk shows in. After the women of The View had this to say. Watch this.
Two celebrities just gave very different takes on masculinity. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Here's what it was. Brad Pitt says that masculinity needs to be completely rehauled. This macho thing has got to stop, right? Then Fantasia says, do you remember Fantasia? She won a American Idol. She says that men in a family need to be the leaders, that the men are the kings and the women are the queens, and let the men lead the way. Yeah, they did a really good job with the world so far. So let's let them lead everything. What do you think, girls?
Those the four women in the front are friends of mine from Miami, and they're all like,
So what do you think?
Oh, there's so many good men in this audience that are looking at us like, what did we do wrong? These conversations are hard because I think about the men in my life, my family, my friends. There are so many good ones out there that if I went to my husband and said, look, can we do different roles here? You know, I'm going to work, and he would be like, you know what? I just want us to be happy. I think we stereotype so much today, and we're giving men across the board a bad rap. That makes me nervous because I don't think that's going to end well. I don't think that's going to get us to a better, more productive place as a society, because there are some bad men out there, but there are bad women out there. But I know this is not the popular thing to say, but I'm going to stand by all the men in this country that are still so good and are gentlemen and treat women well, that don't often get talked about. They do exist. They do exist.
We all have, I have to say, everyone on this panel has a great husband. We're all married to really great guys. Yeah. We're not talking about the men in this audience or the men in our bedrooms. We're talking about men I'm talking about men who are leading the world. And I don't like hardly any of them at this point.
But, you know, it's interesting that Brad Pitt says that about masculinity, because one of the things that I really admire about him is that in 1995, when he confronted Harvey Weinstein, he was dating Gwyneth Paltrow back then. And Harvey Weinstein, remember, was a huge producer, powerful guy in Hollywood. And Brad Pitt confronted him and said, you ever make my girlfriend feel uncomfortable again, I'm going to kill you.
Good for him.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm all into that level of masculinity.
Yeah.
That's right.
That to me is not macho behavior. That is not macho behavior.
What is it?
That is protecting your loved one from a predator.
Yeah.
That's different.
That didn't stop
That's
him,
appropriate.
Well, what I think Fantasia was talking about is almost
alleged.
Emasculating men.
Yes.
And I don't think women should do that either.
Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist, and in my home we do have certain roles, and I think that that's okay.
In costume or out of costume?
Both. But I think that's okay. You know, I think that men and women have and a wife and husband, you have a partnership, and sometimes you do fall into certain roles. I cook better, you know, he fixes things better, and so we do those types of things. But I think that women have to be very careful about emasculating men, because I have seen that with the relationships of some of my friends.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that she was trying to say. That she said something like, so, you know, women have to stand up to be the mother, and sometimes you are so big and bad that you can't be told nothing. That when the right man comes, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. And maybe she said it inartfully, but I think she was talking about emasculation.
So most women are trying to be a
Also,
leader.
Don't let this be. But also, Brad Pitt. Have you ever seen Fight Club? I mean, Tyler Durden, and the whole premise of the movie is that men feel emasculated, so they're beating the crap out of each other in like a secret underground club. And that is a huge hit for him. It's still a hugely iconic movie. So I would question how he reconciles that character in that movie today. I love that movie. I don't have a problem with Fight Club in any way.
Well, he didn't write it.
It was a huge hit and a huge part of popular culture. And the whole premise, again, if you see it, is that men feel like so oppressed by society that they have to have these fight clubs. So I would be curious to hear how he takes on that movie right now.
Okay, we'll have to call him and see if he'll
You
come
can
on the
call
show.
him. He's your best friend.
All right. You saw right there, the women of view kind of a little bit mixed about it, saying, hey, that's their business. After I see it. So, hey, it is. But here's the caveat. When Wendy Williams added her 2 cents with her panel, and hear what Wendy Williams had to say about this whole marriage goals. Watch this.
Fantasia Barrino, who we love here on the show, she's often wrapped up in stuff, but she's been married now for like 3 years. But she says that most single women are single because they're unwilling to submit to a man in a relationship. Nikki?
I think this is a little old-fashioned. I'm just going to go out there and say that. Listen, there are stereotypes that go on in my house. I don't like to take the trash out. Guess what? My man does it. He sucks at mopping the floors. He's bad at it, so I do it. But when it comes down to submitting and using words like submitting,
I don't like the word.
Seems a little weird. Do you think it was just semantics, or do you think she really believes that?
Well, she's from below the Mason-Dixon line, and sometimes the beliefs when you're from down south, high Southern people, they're a little bit different. But I have to say, look, my parents have been married for 62 years. My mom is sexy. She had a career, but she did know how to cater to my father. And I come from her, and I must say, I don't mind being submissive.
Well, Wendy, I have to confess, this was one of the reasons why I left my girlfriend. The other reason I was gay. But I mean,
well, you should have led with that.
but I mean that was one of the reasons. It was like
It shouldn't be the first
But you know, you came to my birthday party. You know how I get down.
Yes, but I thought you were Gold Star gay.
No, I dated. I mean, dipped and dude, you know. But I got up out of there.
Okay.
But Wendy was at my birthday party. I introduced her to both my husband and my boyfriend.
At the same time. And they were both equally good looking.
So in my house, the problem is that we're all trying to be heads of state and everybody's trying to be in control. So all I need is for one person to be in control.
Well, obviously it's you.
I think in a marriage, whatever floats your boat works.
Yeah.
So long as you're not being emotionally abused, financially abused, physically abused, you do you. However, I think where I differ is, and I love Fantasia, love her. But where I think I disagree with her is this sort of idea that everybody should do this. I think if it works for you, you do it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know,
she made a broad statement.
Very broad statement. Yeah, I feel like it always should be a dance. We should be figuring it out as we go. But when you start making sort of blanket statements, that's when you get in trouble. And that's when you're like trying to.
Because in relationships, some people take on different roles. You can take on the masculine role and not be the man. You can take on the feminine role and not be the woman. So it depends on whatever works for you.
I love wearing the pants.
And whatever.
And I love not wearing the pants.
But if she,
and there's nothing wrong with it.
If the wife has a shoe addiction, though, she can also make you guys homeless because then you can't pay the rent because she's out at Saks. And I mean, you know.
But if she makes more money than you, then she can do what she wants. Get out of here.
That part.
hey, like I said, I'm with Milan Charles. Hey, what you do is you do what you got to do. What works for you works for you. So hey, it ends in details from there. I guess Fantasia was trying to speak in terms of that, but it just came out not the right way that she wanted to come out, because it was kind of like a abrasive statement that Fantasia made. Fantasia saying that you know, people won't allow people to be men, allow people to be women. It's just, hey, if you win some, you lose some. I guess Fantasia now just to keep her mouth shut and just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna keep that to myself. Then, all right. Speaking of Wendy Williams, now Wendy Williams had a Hot Topics guest, Nicole Murphy. Now she's the former wife of Eddie Murphy and mother of his children. But Nicole Murphy appeared on the show to address the critics about her summer fling with director Antonio Fuqua from Training Day after they was caught kissing each other and doing a lot more. And Wendy put Nicole up to the task on why she did what she did. Watch this.
Nicole was a hot topic, and she still is, for kissing a married man. Antoine, no, that is not a, no, Nicole.
No, not like that.
No.
No, I'm talking about
That
it
wasn't
a kiss. It was a mwah.
Okay. Okay.
It was a frozen in time pic.
So this is Anton Fuqua, and we know him from producing, directing. He's a big deal in Hollywood. And you two were supposed to, this picture took place in, oh, that's his wife. Oh, wait, no. No, wait.
I know. Trust me, Wendy. Trust me. I wish it didn't happen.
Okay. Repeat where this happened.
Well, I think it was a moment where I should have thought more through the situation, made better judgments, you know? So it's something that I apologize for. What happened was there was a statement that was released. I did not put out that statement. I was actually on the airplane and I was coming back from Europe.
They were in Italy at a film festival.
Yes.
And allegedly.
But I was out there for business.
Okay.
There were some designers out there as well, so I was dealing with that.
Okay.
There was familiar faces out there, and it happened.
Where did this happen?
I was in Italy.
No, I mean, where did that happen right there? Because you all looked like you just woke up in the morning.
No, we did not.
Your body looks phenomenal.
First of all, I was at the pool. Okay. We're on a different time zone. I was having a hard time staying awake. I was drinking an espresso. That's it.
Okay, and you leaned in. And kissed.
It was a moment that should not have happened. I regret it, and I apologize for it. And I'm a human being. It was a mistake. Basically, women, it's gonna happen to you. Do your research. Very much so. Do your research, you know. It happened.
No. I mean, people don't kiss their family friends like that.
That's not the case. I did not release that statement, Wendy.
Do you know Layla?
I as by passing, like if I see her somewhere, it's like, hey, I don't know her like that.
Because they said you all were family friends.
No, they said, listen, let me tell you about social media. Social media had it to where we were family friends. I was at her wedding, kicking it at their house. It's not true. None of that is true. I don't know her like that. It's not like that.
How do you know him?
I know him through just seeing him at events and stuff like that, you know?
Well, let's take a look at Exhibit B.
It was a moment.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not saying a word.
It was a moment.
Girl.
Hey, you learn from your mistakes. I regret it. It was a mistake. I'm human. Let's, you know. But not that social media, I have to say, social media is a mountain of its own. It's a monster of its own.
I know.
Because I was hearing stuff that was not true.
Okay,
Wendy.
well, did he tell you that he was getting a divorce?
Listen, at the moment, maybe I had a different impression of the situation.
What was your impression?
Obviously, it was a different impression.
What was your impression?
I'm not going there. Listen, Missy Pooh.
Come on, you know what I do.
I know what you do. And you see this hand?
I like your earrings, by the way.
Thank you, darling.
They're really beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
But I just want to talk about a little bit of social media. It made
Not
me
social media.
No, social media took on a mountain of its own. And like I said, no, listen, it said I broke up somebody's marriage, which is absolutely false. I never did that. There was a statement released by that ex-husband saying it's false. And no one
you're talking about when Lisa Ray got
yeah.
involved and said you slept with her husband.
Yes, and it's not true.
No, she talked real greasy on social media.
I know, it's not true. First of all, her husband released a statement.
That was
saying,
Turks and Caicos King.
Yes, saying it's not true.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nobody focused on that issue. No one, they just
But
focused
he was caught in
on
the bed with Roxy, so.
But it has nothing to do with me.
But I'm just saying, who believes what he says?
Okay, but
men lie. But you know men lie.
But I'm telling you it's not true.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just saying what I'm talking about is that no one focused on him making that statement that it's not true. They just focused on all the other stuff. They were just spewing things out like
I wasn't focused on anything but the 2 pictures.
I know that.
I'm just saying. Now look at here.
Like I said.
Did you at least send Layla a muffin basket?
I apologize. I apologize to my family, her family. I mean, I apologize. I made a mistake. I'm woman enough to admit it was a mistake.
But did you ever see her one-on-one? Like if she's watching right now, and you know she probably is, look at Rambo's camera. Say something to her.
Oh, Layla, darling, it was a mistake. I apologize, you know? It is what it is. I mean, I wish I could take it back. I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, sorry that Wendy Williams ain't playing no jokes, ain't playing no games. Cole Murphy thinking, hey, I'm going to be coming out easy and peace. But Wendy Williams went through the juggler and went through that. That was definitely must-see TV. With everybody watching Cole Murphy kind of trying to want to choke Wendy Williams. But, hey, if you make a lie come out to lemons, it's like, you know, you're taking lemons to lemonade. You can't make it squeeze so tight, then how many lies you going to tell the next time? So, right. Cole Murphy said she learned her lesson. She ain't going to do that again. She going to do her homework, her research. I guess she knew. She knew. Speaking of somebody new, on the Ellen Show this week, Ellen welcomed actress Demi Moore to talk about her new memoir, and she revealed something about her ex-husband Ashton Kutcher that many people didn't realize. Watch this.
You know, you talk about a lot of different things, not just your childhood, which was pretty messed up, but you talk about your relationship with Bruce, your relationship with Ashton. Are you nervous?
In a way, I'm nervous for anyone who is in there, from the point of view of feeling sensitive, and putting myself in their place. But overall, no. I feel so good about the point of view, which for me, I have no interest in blaming or villainizing anyone. The journey in the book is about overcoming, and in a sense, this is my story, my point of view.
All right, Demi Moore, the men that she wanted to keep Ashton Kutcher happy, that she would elicit threesomes to keep Ashton Kutcher happy. I'm not a fan. You know, one thing about fans and threesomes, if you do that, that's like we talk about Fantasia, you do that on your own accord. But it's just like it's tawdry, it's tacky, but hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Threesomes ain't for everybody, but if that's what you have to do to keep him going, you got to do what you got to do. And look at the fallout now. Like Ashton Kutcher happily married to Mila Kunis, who he should have been with the show, that 70s show back in the day, which that could have ended all this little, you know, fun and games. Ashton would have been with that girl for now going on 20 years. We've been working with her for 20-something years. Okay. It worked out the best way it could. And it worked out like, unfortunately for Demi Moore, it just didn't work out for us. She ain't nobody right now. All right. In celebrity news, all right. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore is getting a divorce from Mark Daly. And the reports are stunning. Watch this.
and Mark Daly shocked the world Thursday afternoon when they announced they were calling it quits after 2 years of marriage. The duo, who got hitched in a secret ceremony in St. Lucia in 2017, told People magazine exclusively that they were getting a divorce and asked for privacy during this time. Due to recent and ongoing circumstances, I can no longer continue in the marriage, Kenya said in a statement. My sole concern and focus is and will always be my daughter, Brooklyn, my miracle baby. She was made in love and true commitment. I ask for our privacy to be respected moving forward. Their separation comes less than a year after Moore gave birth to their first child, daughter Brooklyn Doris Daly, on November 4th, 2018. The couple had also just sat down for their first exclusive interview as a family on the Tamron Hall show and appeared to be in love.
At 46, I met the love of my life.
Yeah.
And it was God. I can't say that it was anything else.
Well, I want to bring the love of your life, Kenya's darling husband, Mark, and baby Brooklyn.
Yes,
let's
baby
meet them
Brooklyn.
all. Come on.
So what went wrong? Hip Hollywood has learned new details that may explain how the couple went from marital bliss to matrimonial hell. According to sources close to the Real Housewives of Atlanta star, she and Daly have been quietly struggling to keep their marriage afloat for months. Moore initially was tight-lipped about the drama with her close friends, but it became more apparent that there was trouble in paradise. What's more, the pair have lived in separate residences since they got hitched. Apparently, Daly, who owns several restaurants in New York City, did not want to move to Atlanta while Moore calls home. Since the birth of their daughter, Moore reportedly has been having a hard time balancing work and motherhood and feels like she's doing it alone. According to reports, she even had a meltdown while filming the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. As previously reported, Moore is back as a friend of the show for season 12 and is doing everything she can to get back in producers' good graces. You recall she was not asked to come back for season 11 because she refused to film with Daly and open up about her new life. The restaurateur was also not a fan of the reality show and only appeared a handful of times. Sources tell us Moore is completely devastated that her marriage is coming to an end, but is focused on being the best mom she can be given the circumstances. Back in 2017, when we caught up with her, ironically just 1 month before she and Daly wed, she told us she will never be dependent on a man to take care of her.
My money I earn because I've been working my ass off for 20-some years in this business, and I am self-made. I'm a self-made millionaire, and I'm proud of it. No one has ever said I took a dime from a man. I have never needed to. I have an education. I have a career. I have had fame my entire life. Or not fame, celebrity.
We're just hoping the couple can make it work out before the ink dries.
All right, you saw right there what some of the blogs are saying about Kenya Moore and Mark Daly. Some rumors are saying that he had another wife and child on the side. Other rumors are saying that he's secretly gay and Kenya paid him off to, a lab with this plan to, hash this out, like they were married and having conceived a kid. If this is all true, then Kenya needs to stop. It's just, and they say it's going to progress on the Real Housewives of Atlanta show. So it's going to be intriguing to see how this all get to the point. But just a couple of days ago when they announced it, they was on here. Well, what the hell? They was having problems then. If they couldn't keep it on the Tamron Hall show, they should have just turned that show into just like, hey, Tamron Hall figure out, make it or break it. People going, divorces on the brink, something like that. But hey, you more trying to realize what she done and stuff like that. She said, at least I got a girl. That's how I want a child. I said, that's why she want a child. 10. All right. In other news, Megan Thee Stallion was approved of her trademark of Hot Girl Summer. So Megan Thee Stallion gets Hot Girl Summer. She came up with the phrase. Now she gets it. And now she's coined with phrase with Jimmy Fallon with this. Yeah, Hot Girl Fall. So Megan Thee Stallion win big time. Congratulations, Megan Thee Stallion, on receiving Hot Girl Summer and got it approved as her own trademark. Congratulations, Megan. All right. It ain't like LeBron James who trying to get Taco Tuesday. Everybody been saying Taco Tuesday since the inception. So LeBron James, you gotta stop. We focus on other business endeavors with Taco Tuesday. Telling you right now. All right. Rapper TheTake 6ix9ine is on a snitching spree, and the snitching spree still continues right here.
Rapper TheTake 6ix9ine is continuing his snitching tour. Today, he took to the stand to testify against two members of his own 9 Trey Bloods gang. 6ix9ine, real name Daniel Hernandez, revealed he's been cooperating with federal authorities since November 2018. Prosecutors asked him to point out gang members in photographs and explain the inner workings of his gang. Earlier this year, 6ix9ine pled guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, multiple firearms offenses, narcotics trafficking, and more. He could face at least 47 years in prison. 6ix9ine is expected to be sentenced in January 2020.
All right, as you saw right there, TheTake 6ix9ine with the snitching spree. He named out Carter B, Jim Jones. I think TheTake 6ix9ine trying to realize, like, what's going on, man? I just need to be free. All right, you be free for now. There's a price for freedom. Is you willing to pay the price? When you get out and free and everybody gunning for you, that's gonna be the biggest test to date for him. So hey, he's just trying to get out. He got the club, got the scene where he can. Might have to just just change his look. Just stop wearing that goofy cotton candy rainbow hairdo and just look like a regular dude. That's how you pull out from them there. All right, stay tuned for more Take. This will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TheTake. I'm your host, as always, Kenny Dukes here. Glad you can join us here on TheTake. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Take. But don't forget to subscribe. We love it here when you subscribe on TheTake. Thank you all for the views for last week's Take. You know, we're slowly, gradually getting there. And we thank you for watching. We appreciate you. All right, let's get to the political rundown. On political rundown this week, President Trump is trying to clear his name after reports of the president is trying to get dirt on former Vice President Joe Biden and a potential candidate for president, potential opponent for president, by pressuring Ukraine president to release information on Biden's son, Hunter. Well, let's hear what the president's response on that. Watch this.
What did you tell the Ukrainian president about Joe Biden and his son during your phone call?
Well, you're going to see, because what we are doing is we want honesty. And if we deal with a country, we want honesty. And I think with the new president, you're going to see much more honesty in the Ukraine. And that's what we're looking for. We're supporting a country. We want to make sure that country is honest. It's very important to talk about corruption. If you don't talk about corruption, why would you give money to a country that you think is corrupt? One of the reasons the new president got elected is he was going to stop corruption. So it's very important that on occasion you speak to somebody about corruption. Very important.
Hey, the president trying to say that if you did the crime, you got to do the time, and he wants to know. So everybody else want to know too, and so everybody they release these transcripts. Watch this. Oh man, they released the transcript on the president. So President Trump got a lot of explaining to do. Even Trump is blindsided with this now. This was just breaking news. He's blindsided with this by Speaker Nancy Pelosi is doing impeachment processing on the president. Watch this. Now, all of a sudden, y'all want to do the impeachment a year before he gets reelected. That should be the impeachment. If you want to impeach the president, and we'll see how this fires, but if you want to impeach the president, you got just about a year due to say, hey, I don't want Trump in office. And then we'll see from there how it go. I think they're just knowing that he might get reelected again and might start more chaos. But here's what it is. Speaking of world leaders in their own little world in trouble, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau never thought this would happen. Watch this.
I think when we reflect on mistakes we made in the past, that's a question that we're always going to be asking. Why did we do that? Why did we think it was okay? Why did we think it was a good idea at the time? It wasn't a good idea. It was a terrible idea. It was something that minimizes and takes advantage of a reality that I have not had to live with, of being discriminated against, of being marginalized, of being judged for the color of my skin, for my language, my background. I come from a place of privilege, and I have endeavored in my life to put the advantages and the opportunities I've been given to serve this country, to fight for people's rights. And I have to recognize that I let a lot of people down with that choice. And I stand here today to reflect on that and to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau caught with blackface, and he regretted it. He apologized for it, and he said he was sincere. He was sincere about it. And, hey, he didn't know at the time, but hey, wherever you in the United States or Canada, Mexico, you wearing blackface, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta know what's going on. You gotta know what's going on. I'm telling you right now, you gotta know. So hey, just learned his lesson that day. All right. On the reality show Clip Down, on Keep On With the Kardashians this week, Scott Disick and Corey Gamble. Scott, former boyfriend, fiance to Courtney, and Corey, who is a boyfriend to Chris, had dinner, and they had got an argument about serious discussion about corporal punishment for children. Watch this.
I would give her a spanking for sure. My daughter? What are you talking about? Scratch me. You would whoop my daughter's ass if she touched you? No, scratch me. She scratched? A little 6-year-old girl in home.
I would whoop her ass if she scratched.
That's how anybody talks about just when a kid whipped their ass.
We're never going to agree. I was just joking. But that's fun. But that's how I would be telling you. But then you were yelling at me. We have a camera. You were then yelling at me. If anybody wants to have a relationship with me, they need to know how to communicate.
All right. And you saw right there a tense drama with Scott and Corey with the whole situation that Corey said some remark that he would have spanked Penelope, and Scott didn't like that. It's a cultural difference between the two parties where different cultures believe different beliefs. Like, you might not believe that parents should be kids should be being spanked if they're doing something bad. Other people who are parents might think kids should be spanked to be taught a lesson. And I guess that was just it, a cultural difference and stuff between, maybe a racial difference. We don't know. It just, Corey was speaking speaking his mind on it. And Penelope, Scott and Courtney didn't like that one bit. And that would put Christian in a bind between them. So, let's see how this goes. You're going to try to say, exit out, Corey, or what? Either him or me. Chris going to have to make a difficult decision on that. All right, on news this week, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek give us prognosis on his recent cancer scare with prostate. Let's get insight with what's going on with Alex Trebek. Watch this.
The beloved Jeopardy host just revealed that his battle with stage 4 cancer has taken a turn for the worse.
I lost about 12 pounds in a week, and my numbers went sky high. So the doctors have decided that I have to undergo chemo again.
It was a devastating setback. Alex, in a new interview recorded just yesterday, told GMA he needs a second round of debilitating chemo.
I was doing so well, and my numbers went down to the equivalent of a normal human being who does not have pancreatic cancer. So we were all very optimistic.
This was Alex back in April, leaving the hospital. In June, he told us his chemo treatments seemed to be working.
My numbers are improving, and I'm very positive about the outcome.
After his first round of chemo, Alex needed a wig and faces more hair loss a second time.
My hair started to grow back, so what little hair I have grown is going to disappear again.
Alex has fought through intense pain, depression, and at times fear, but has not missed one day of taping Jeopardy.
There is an end in sight for me when I do pass on. One thing they will not say at my funeral is, oh, he was taken from us too soon. Hey guys, I'm 79 years old. I've had one hell of a good life. And the thought of passing on doesn't frighten me.
And today, in a new video message to fans, Alex has a special request.
Please keep me in your good thoughts and prayers. Believe me, it means a lot.
All right, good speed for Alex Trebek. He announced it, and he said it's back in remission. He wants to aggressively get back to what he's doing, and he's still doing that in Jeopardy. So it's not going to stop him from not doing what he wants to do and love what he do. So we here to wish Alex Trebek the best, and we wish him a good speed recovery to fight this disease and battle it out like always do. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. Now, we talk about rapper Jim Jones with the Tekashi 6ix9ine situation, where the rapper Jim Jones faces foreclosure with his wife Chrissy, and the whole Dish Nation crew ripped him. Watch this.
Let's talk about rapper Jim Jones and his longtime girlfriend, Chrissy Lampkin. They had their New Jersey mansion foreclosed on. Oh. And guess how much someone snatched it away for?
How much?
$100.
I would have sent my $100 up there through Western Union.
I think we all could have would have.
I'm sure it was some type of extenuating circumstance.
So, according to reports, the rapper purchased the mansion back in 2006, taking out a $680,000 mortgage to make payments of over $4,000 each month, but he stopped paying on the mortgages for 7 years straight, and he currently owes over $1.2 million on the home. That's a high interest rate.
Wow. See, you never know what happened to cause this to happen. Like, maybe the owner of the house did something wrong, and he was like, well, I'm not paying until you do X, Y, and Z, and then it just grew to this reason.
He maybe stopped liking Chris in the meantime, too.
No, they together. They love each other.
Yeah, they've been riding hard.
Be going back and forth.
But see, Jim Jones is different from me, because all he had to do was call me up and say, listen, Quad, I need you to go ahead and we're going to sign this over to you.
You know how men ain't asking nobody for nothing. You know they have too much pride for that.
And then I'm like, oh, I got you. Here's $100.
Jim Jones keeps pockets full of money.
They didn't pay for 7 years. Do you realize
that is a long time?
Like, what color does the slip come in the mail? You know, the pink joint is when, like, you miss a couple months, right?
It's the color today, Gary. It's aqua.
Wow. Jim Jones balling. All that money he had, he was living in Jersey. Where his mama at? What's going on with Jim Jones losing that much money and $100? Man, I'm telling you, when you're a celebrity, you got to be on top of your game no matter what. You know, small money like that can equivalent to a big, large sum. Man, Jim Jones losing that money like that. Wow. I just let you know that you can't know how it be in Hollywood. All right, everyone. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Take this week. I've been your host, Kenny Diggs, and we'll see you next week here for another edition of The Take. See you later.